Right guys, so I am one of the combat medics here at Azov International. I'm here to show you my medical bag. I've recently just come off a couple of missions myself, so forgive the state of the bag. Inside this is everything I need to treat 2 to 4 casualties on the field, depending on the severity of the wounds. This is my personal bag. Over behind me to my right is the issued bags you will get given over here if you decide to become a combat medic with us. This is one of my main tools of the trade I use out there. Behind me to my left is my main tool, which is my rifle. We are combat medics at the end of the day. We are needed to fight first, treat after. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here, part of the team I'm with. I've got a load of good people around me. Yeah, so I guess we'll dive in and I'll show you little bits of my bag. Let's just start on the outside then, I guess. So here you're going to see a set of shears. These are my backup shears, my good shears. Normally I keep a set of shears on the side of my body armour. They'll be my primary ones because they're on a rope which I can pull them back and not lose them. Next to this you're going to see a little small pouch that's full of my gloves. Pretty self-explanatory. Here you see a roll of med tape. I've got one there, and then I'll have another one on my body armour as well. Going to the front 2 pouches on this part, I have in this pocket, I have my SAM junctional tourniquet. That's used for down here. Over in here, you're going to see that I have a pelvic binder. Pelvic sling to be exact. This is what we normally use if someone has a suspected pelvic fracture or they've been too close to an explosion. We're going to stabilise their hips. Without going into too much detail, it's a very important piece of kit, especially when you're moving a casualty. You're going to come over to this pouch here. Normally this is what I used to have in my belt kit, but I've upgraded my belt kit. So I have one, let's put it this way, it's easier. One roll of splint there, 2 abdominal bandages, and that's it in that pouch. I like these because if someone gets eviscerated or their guts are hanging out, this is what we're going to use to patch them up basically. Okay, coming over to this other pouch here, you're going to see I have 3 tourniquets on here. This is where my shears used to be, but unfortunately they got ripped off going for a tree line. Going inside the pouch. The reason I have 3 tourniquets on this pouch is they're at hand, easy to use, but I normally carry another 4 in my belt kit, which is for other people. I carry 8 total. So in this pouch you're going to find I have my casualty cards, my SpO2 monitor, and I'm going to have hypothermia treatment here in the form of hand warmers. This is just some of the treatment I use. Oh, and I also got my stethoscope there in case I need to listen to lungs. These are very important. Without this, if you're not documenting your findings, you're not going to be able to listen to patterns of injuries, see if their vitals are going up, going down. It's then going to tell you if they are potentially developing something and how to treat it in a degree. And it's also very important for the people on the other end. I think they're pretty universal. They used to use something called a 9-line for giving information about medical over the radio. But now we use the MIS report. It's much more simpler. It's easier to understand. Basically, a monkey could fill a form out if they know what they're doing. I also have some eye shields in there. I carry about 6 eye shields. Recently, we had to use one. Without giving too much details over about the mission itself, one of our soldiers, or I call him my brother, but he unfortunately got hit in the face. The helmet did the majority of the work, saved his life, but the round continued going down. Unfortunately, it came through his eye socket. Kept his eye, I think. Yeah, very, very handy. That helmet was 1 centimetre higher if that round had come 1 centimetre lower as well, you probably wouldn't be here. So I don't really want to dwell on that, that'll be another day. In this pouch here, I carry my pharmacy. So I have 8 vials of TXA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I have 10, sorry. So I have enough for 2 patients, and then I have a little bit of backup as well if need be. At the top here, you're going to see my Dansatron. Over on this side, so this is from my last mission. When I was in the CCP, I just pre-drew enough for 2 casualties, which is the same mission the guy unfortunately got hit in the face. This isn't usable now, so I'll be disposing of this when I get back. In this one here, you're going to see I have a load of spare pill packs. We try and give soldiers like a couple of these a turn. Again, this is another needle I had pre-drawn from the last mission. That's ketamine. It's what we use as one of our pain relievers over here. You're also going to see I have antibiotics, which I'll have to reconstitute, so I also keep a bit of saline in the other side here with a 5mm needle. In fact, I have 2 5mm needles there. Over here, like I just mentioned, this is the ketamine we use. It is a 50mg vial. There is 2 millilitres in there, so there's roughly 100 milligrams of ketamine here. That's enough for 2 people in that ampule. TXA you're going to use when you have a massive bleed. So that can be from multiple different types of injuries. You could have your leg blown off. So obviously, clearly you're going to be bleeding a lot from there. Could be shot, you could have shrapnel. But we use that as basically an internal tourniquet. You give 2 grams of it over within 2 hours of injury, and it will basically clot up the blood inside you, in turn slowing down your bleeding. I've had to use that now once on one of our guys. Unfortunately, I wouldn't say he had a massive bleed, but he also had a penetrating wound to his chest on the back side of him. So TXA was needed to stop the bleeding inside. I'll go into more on that while I explain something in here, you'll see why. So I'm just going to put these down here for the moment. I also carry 2 catheters in that as well, in case I need extra for the IV lines. So going inside the bag, this is a different bag to what they issue us. This is a mystery ranch bag. I'm a huge fan of this. But when you get inside, you're going to see I customized it a little bit. So I took the pouches from the same bag as that, and I put them instead of these 2. So I have 3 pouches here instead of 2. So let's just start with M. So we use a match system over here. If you guys know what it is massive bleeding, airways, respiratory, circulation, head injury, hypothermia, and then we have pause on the end, which is pain, antibiotics, wounds and splints. So this is my massive bleed, or one of my massive bleed pouches in here. You'll see I have hemostatic gauze. I have about 4 pieces there, and then I have about 6 to 7 normal compressed gauze. I also have a IT clamp as well. I also carry another IFAC on the back of my battle belt, which is just MAR, so that's everything I need for the first 3 letters there, because I'll drop this in a CCP, and if I need to go forward and grab people, I'm not going to carry this because it's too much weight. It'll bog you down. If need be, I'll carry it, but that's why I like living out my belt system. Over here, it's my airway, respiratory pouch. So I have, I'd say 4 to 5 MPAs. I will carry, you're going to say there's quite a lot of chest seals. It is, but that's because we learned on one of our last missions, the more chest seals, the better. Unfortunately, I ended up using about 8 chest seals on one guy. So now I carry 15 minimum. I should probably make it 16, make it a nice round number. But 15 feels good. I also have about 6 needle Ds here, decompression needles. Let me just organise that. Again, I'm now carrying more of certain items because I believe I'm going to end up using them more in the future, going off what's considerably happened last time. Down here is my IV pouch. So I've pre-made a couple packs, and I had one sent to me or given to me by Uno, very good friend of mine. I used an IV on a mission, so he gave me one out of his own personal kit to replace it. Thank you very much. I have a third kit made up as well. Just easy accessible, so if I'm in the dark or anything, I can just grab one kit, put my torch on my helmet, and then I can just get the IV in instead of scrambling for multiple parts in the bag. I then carry some spare saline flushes in this pouch and some wipes, basically antibacterial wipes, antiseptic wipes, anything to clean the site where I'm going to be placing the IV in, because I'm trying to minimise infections. So in this pouch here, it's just spare catheters, IV lines, syringes for drawing my medications out. I can show you what I've got in here. So I have 5mm syringes, I have a couple 10mm syringes, a couple 20mm syringes. I've got catheters that range from 18 gauge up to 22 gauge. And I also carry about 5-6 salines, 20mm salines. In this top bag, or pouch, sorry, I have my pocket BVM. Very, very handy. Luckily I haven't had to use that yet, which I'm very fortunate for. It sucks once you use that, you have to stay with the casualty. So here I have an easy IO and 2 lines. I'm not going to lie, I'm a big fan of this. I used this on one of our guys before, straight into just below his knee, the site below his knee. Alright, so this goes straight to your bone marrow, the needle. So you just press it against the bone, press, and it just slams a big needle straight through your bone. He screams a lot when I push saline and medicine through him. Bless him. It does hurt. It basically, when you push the saline through, you're going to break the bone marrow. So it's, yeah, I don't like speaking about it. I wouldn't want it on me, but unfortunately, it's quite a good way to deliver blood and medicine through. It's fast, it's quick, and you can use it if you fail IV or you just can't get an IV. So unfortunately, I couldn't get an IV because of how cold it was and his veins had disappeared. So to get that TXA in as fast as possible, we decided to go for the IO. He agreed, got it in, administered the TXA, and we had that casualty stabilised overnight. I have another little secret panel here you're probably not going to see normally, but here I carry a spare bag of saline and a small ready active heat. So it's basically an enlarged version of the hand warmers here we use for hypothermia. Just rip it open, give it about 10 minutes and the air should react to it. In here, just a couple dressings, and I have some burn treatment at the bottom as well, I think. Oh no, some more hand warmers. But going on the active one, that's the small one I have. They will give you one of these. Again, okay, so first things first, at the top of that pouch I have Exstat, which I'll push into the body, push the needle down. It basically injects you these small sponges which expand with the blood and clot the wound for you. They have a hemostatic agent on it as well. So I have a large one and I have a small one. These you can use for like through and through wounds that don't require, like, you don't really want to pack it. You could just use this. Don't use that on the body though, on the box. So this is, I'd say about triple the size of that, 4 times the size of that. Very good system. I've used this already. All I can say is when we took the blankets off the casualty, he was steaming from how hot he was. So this saved his life, warmed him up overnight. We had to take all his clothes off him because he was wet and soaking. So he was shivering fast, hypothermia was coming in. We used that. We had to take it off him at one stage because it was too hot and it was burning him. So we moved it from in the middle of his layers to the very top of the sleeping bag, and it was perfect for the rest of the night. Even all the way through the casualty transport as well, that's how you had it. In this pocket over here, you're going to see that I have Israeli bandages. This is another part of my M. or massive bleeding or massive hemorrhage. I'm going to use them. I also have another 4 of them in here, all different shapes and sizes. Are you going to come to the other side? I have a splint, another splint tucked away. I also have a crike kit. Yeah, if I have to use this, then it's a bad day. In here, you're going to see I just have like ace bandages, some other bandages for small boo-boos. I also have a load of mylar blankets or emergency blankets in there for hypo. They go in tandem with the active and passive methods we have. I think, to be all honest, in that bag, I think that's everything I carry here. Again, I have other extra stuff in my battle belt, but I don't have my battle belt with me today, so I'm not going to be able to show you. I will have basically an enlarged pill pack. So it's like an old, you know, the car first aid kits, one of the fold-out plastics. I cut that out. I have like paracetamols, ibuprofen. I got stuff for nausea, diarrhea, just like a variety of pills and stuff for hay fever, all the small boo-boos. But currently what I have right now is a large SAM splint in there, and then some MREs, which I didn't eat on my last mission. So they're there, waiting for me for the next one. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I got a battle spoon in here as well. But, yeah, so I guess now I'll show you the issued bag you're gonna get. Alright, so this is the issued bag they will give you over here, up in Azov. I personally don't use this bag. I've used this one because it's more tailored to how I like it. So obviously you're going to see the same pouch I have on mine. This is for your gloves. Externally, they have a SAM junctional attached to it, but again, if you have your own pouches, you've got the MOLLE systems on the front where you can add. You can probably store that better so it doesn't snag on stuff. So on the front, they've given tourniquets, pill packs, and a couple other items. Oh no, it's just another pill pack and the sling. Sorry, another buckle for the bag itself. So with this one, like I say, unfortunately I'm not familiar with this one. But I can give you a basic rundown to how it's stationed. So as you see, these are the same pouches. I originally had one of these bags before I came to this unit. So in the top here is massive bleeding. So you've got Israeli bandages, you've got some compressed bandages, compressed Israeli, sorry. Hemostatic gauze is the normal compressed gauze here. I'm a big fan of these ones, so they don't take up too much room. So you can get quite a lot of them in your kit. I need to get some more of these. So I'll probably pick up another 4 or something and try and switch out what I've got in there. There's also another tourniquet loose at the top for a quick access. So you can reach in and use that. On this pouch here, I believe this is airways. So you have, again, MPAs. I believe these are 28 French. Yep. You've got the lube that comes along with it, because you try and shove that into someone's nose unlubed, it's not going to be the nicest of feelings for them. And if they're conscious, they're probably going to try and gag and fight you. I'm not a big fan of having that shoved up my nose. In here, they have their SpO2 monitor. Again, that's used to monitoring vitals. Well, some of the vitals you need to monitor, not every vital. The rest of it you've got to do by yourself. Chest seals. So the brand, they use Beacon chest seals here. Pretty good, I've used them. They're quite large, they're very sticky. They're giving you about 12, 13 chest seals here. But again, I like to carry 15, 16, just having those couple extra. And then I also have an admin pouch in my body armor, which I have another 4, some compressed gauze, needle Ds, an MPA, just so I can take that with me if I need to go forward. I don't have to take my bag yet. In the bottom, again, is another massive bleed one, some spare items, tourniquets, some more gauze, bandages. So already that's MAR right there at hand, and these pouches are rip off. Good Velcro, so if you need a quick rip, take it off. You can tell your friend to grab you a certain pouch out of it. You get the sticker, you can just write which is each. In here, they have given duct tape, emergency blankets, and there is also another Israeli bandage hidden away there. That's why I like those small ones, because you can tuck quite a few in. On this side here, you've also got some large Israelis, a couple more tourniquets hidden in here. On the front here, you're going to see this little Velcro attachment. That's the way you want to keep ampules if you want them at quick hand. At hand, sorry, not a quick hand. Or you can use this, which is like a pull-out medicine drawer. On here, you're going to see the TXA, ketamine, adantatron. Your antibiotics are here. You've also got room for your needles you're going to draw through, maybe some saline. You can put your casualty cards in there as well. I like this, but I prefer my little pouch I got from Ewan. Very, very good brand. It's strong, sturdy, it's going to protect your medicine. So going into this pouch here, you've got syringes, 5, 10s and 20s. You've got catheters as well for your IV lines, and you've also got a couple of lines there tucked away in the back. This is how you push your medicine through a casualty. It's either that or you're going to give them oral, like an oral pills or stuff they can swallow underneath their tongue. Obviously, if the casualty is unconscious, they're not going to be able to swallow, so that's why you have a line set up in them. Push the TXA, ketamine, adantatron, syphilis in. Up here, you have some more needles and spare syringes. Over here, they had their casualty cards here. X-step, IO device, a larger X-stat, a couple large X-stats here. And then there's some more catheters, a spare IO, the lines for the IO. And then, there in the back panel here as well, I forgot to grab that out. They also have a ready heat as well, which is accessible. They don't have anything else in the back on this section here. And that's like the basic issue bag you're going to get. Obviously, when you get to your deployment, you're going to go to them and they're going to tailor it a little bit more. You know what you need to take out, you know what you don't need to bring. But again, that's why I prefer running that bag there. Because from my experience, I know what I need to carry, what I need more of, what I don't need, what takes up too much weight, what we can get dropped, what other people can carry. All right, so for those of the guys that want to help us here, we have a link you guys can click if you want to donate. Also, don't forget to give us a like and follow because we'll keep you updated with what we do. Again, anything you give us here is going to help us out massively. It will go towards the assault teams, getting them better medical equipment, as well as getting us some medical equipment as well. Thank you very much. He got hit by mortar. I would say fortunately, but fortunately enough, it was a small piece of shrapnel, but unfortunate to get hit by it. Penetrated his box at the top. Wasn't a through and through. Fortunately, he ended up developing a pneumothorax, I believe it was. So we ended up using 8 chest seals on that guy. They just would not stick. We used duct tape. We went through 2 big rolls of duct tape, just wrapping it around him, trying to get it to stick, and it wouldn't. But eventually, when the TXA kicked in and took effect, when we wiped away and put a fresh one on, it stuck for the rest of the night, the morning, and then our X fell out. So I'm very glad for that, and I'd say I'm probably glad for having a good team as well, because I couldn't get to the casualty for 2 hours because of the amount of artillery. They were there with him, they stabilised him to a degree and kept him alive until we got there. So I think everyone having a good level of medical in the team, regardless of if you're not a medic, if you're a rifleman, if you're this, because we all try and get to one standard, it really helps out.